Hey everyone, it's Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker. I'm joined with again.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Kat.
And we're going to do a talk about storytelling games.
Yes.
Which one's the best?
Yes.
Okay, so there's many storytelling games been out so far. Yeah, right?
Like basically 3. Like that fit that description. There's like pretty much 3 of the one I'm thinking
and
of.
I think we're more focusing in games that have a like the paragraph or chapter kind of like
basically they're like choose your own adventures.
Yeah.
Like the things you would get. Like I guess I didn't get them as a kid. I guess probably my parents did. They're like, like here are your options now. Flip to this page to find out what happens. It is those, but in game format.
So we each select a one we want to talk about, and I'm going to go first. I'm going to talk about Arabian Nights. I unfortunately don't have the box because someone's borrowing it. But what's great, I mean, this is probably the definitive story, like pick your choose adventure board game. And you're going through, the lands of Arabian Nights. I mean, it's like not exactly our world, because there's like funny things in there, like Solomon's Temple, and like the closet of the palace of 1,000 closets, or something like that.
Yeah, I assume they're all, like some of them I recognize. I assume they're all from like Arabian like lore and stuff like that.
Yeah, like what the Cave of Wonders is.
Yeah, the Cave of Wonders.
I mean, it covers like Africa, Asia, some parts of Europe and stuff like that. So basically, you're going around the map, and then you pick a card, and the card will do something about encounters, and you may encounter what, like an enchantress or a slave,
a djinn.
Yeah,
and then
those then you're gonna pick something here, like I'm gonna beat the enchantress, and you never know what's gonna happen, right? So it's really wacky. But what I really love about this one is that the stories are quite well written, and they're kind of like the very same vibe as the Arabian Nights.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd say of like the 3, because I've played all of them, Arabian Nights has the best written like story parts. So
I mean, the thing is that the stories themselves are not very cohesive.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
they can like kind of connect.
They can sort of, but
How long is the game? Because I haven't played it,
gosh.
but the main complaint I've heard is that it takes forever.
It
can. My favorite play is probably 3 players. Goes all the way up to 6 players. And I just say,
never do that.
Just have if one person's willing, just tell the stories. Have someone who's good at voice acting and tell the stories. That would be really fun, huh?
Gosh, like I don't know, like when we play with like 4 players, I feel like it's over an hour, right?
Yeah.
Like an hour and 20?
Yeah, for standard game, yes, but usually we turn it down a little bit. I will turn it down because I like introducing it to a lot of people. Because the thing is, like, you don't have to play a lot to enjoy it.
No.
So
you don't even have to play really to get a winner.
Yeah.
Like for me, like it is satisfying when you win, but the most satisfying part is like finding out what happens to your character. Like once I don't remember exactly what happened, but like I got trapped in a cave like 3 times in a row in 3 different scenarios, and everyone is just pretty hilarious. Yeah. Everyone was laughing at me.
I thought that was Phoenix Comic Con.
What?
What? No, and the other thing is about replayability. Like, there's a lot.
I mean, the book is huge.
Yeah, it's like that thick. It's like a textbook. So there's you can probably play at least maybe 6 times and never hear the same story.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you will hear the same stories, like more generic ones, but for the ones you want to get, it's like the power of places, where you want to have those, encounters and see where you will take yourself.
And also, like, the thing is, depending on, like, what you choose, because you end up, like, in an encounter, and then you have, like, a list of, like, things you can choose to do in that encounter. So even if you do come up against the same encounter, if you choose something different, you're going to get a different outcome. So instead of, like, if there's a princess there, you could be, like, romance the princess, or you could be, like, rob the princess. It's going to have different effects on what happens.
Okay, Kat.
My game is actually Age of Smersh, which is, funnily enough, the first game I had ever bought without playing first. Ferdinand, the cardboard sticker, he recommended it to me because I liked Arabian Nights. It's very similar. So you are UN agents in Cold War era, and you're fighting this big spy organization named Smersh. I'd say the thing that, like, there's a couple things that sets it apart, but one of the big things is that this is a cooperative game. It's not competitive. And I find I like that a little bit better because Ages of Smersh, because Arabian Nights can really drag on. And when you're playing Ages of Smersh, like, you're invested in whether your teammate passes or not, because you can, if enough people fail their scenarios, you'll lose the game quite quickly. So there's stuff like that, and sometimes you, yes. Yeah, and there's that, and so storytelling wise, like there's the base game, which is Agent of Smersh, and then there's Swagman's Hope, which is the expansion.
It had like two expansions so far, right? One or two?
One, as far as I knew. Okay. Like, so they came, like, there was...
Oh, promos. They have promos.
Yeah, they have promos, yeah. Which now, I believe, when you buy the game, like, it comes with the expansion, like, when you buy it.
And I believe there's the second editions as well.
Yeah, the second edition is the one that comes with the expansion and stuff. But,
so how would you tell, like, how you get the stories into the paragraph?
Basically, they have an app for it now, which is super nice. But basically, depending on... There's different areas. There's, like, Europe, Asia, North America, South America. So, and depending on where you are, you would draw a card. And then, like, it has a number you would flip to in the book. And then you would... there's a list, like A, B, C, D, of, like, reaction matrix is what they call it. And you choose... and then you choose one of the reactions for that. And that's how you get your encounter. And then, depending on your dice roll, is the outcome.
So there's actually a lot more game in this.
Yes, there's a lot more game in than
Arabian Nights.
Than Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights is like pick. Oh, this happens.
This happens. One of the things I really want to stress about Agents of Smersh is, they have something they're called advanced skills in Agents of Smersh, but you get them in Arabian Nights too. So you can have, like, weapons use or whatever in Arabian Nights. So if you're in Arabian Nights and there is a monster, and there's, like, fight the monster, you're like, man, I have weapons use, and that's often, like, an automatic win. You're like, obviously, like, if I'm going to fight the monster, it's going to use weapons use. There is no correlation between what you choose and what skill it will go to in Arabian Nights. It's completely random. Whereas in Agents of Smersh, if, like, there's, like, you know... like, you have seduction and one of the options is charm him, 99% of the time, if you have seduction, it's going to say use that advanced skill, and you like, if you have that advanced skill, you automatically win. So, like, it's more satisfying in that way too. Whereas, like, Arabian Nights, once again,
Arabian Nights is like, you know,
completely random.
You can, like, you can beat the princess. What do you need? Magic. Yeah. Or you can talk to her. What do you need? Magic.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like that. But I was so in the first book, like, some of the storytelling is fun, but I'd say Swagman's Hope, the expansion, the writing is a lot better than in the first one.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's fun. Also, a nice thing to note is they have an app for it now. So it makes it really, really easy. You don't have to, like, flip through the book or anything. Like, it does pretty much everything for you. So that's nice for the playthrough too. They also have a couple different modes and, like, promos that they have, and a lot of different characters you can choose, which offer different play styles for when you play.
Yeah, and the characters do have something, right? Like, different stats.
Yeah, different stats. Like there's like Dexter, who's like a little nerd, and he has, like, lower stats, but he gets 3 advanced skills.
Yeah.
Or, and, like, all of them, like, they're pretty well balanced, all of them. I would say it doesn't matter which one you choose. It just depends on your style of play. But it gives you a different experience.
And you would say that this is, like, a very heavily borrowed from Arabian Nights.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I'd say, like, the storytelling part, like, definitely. Like, the rolling mechanic and stuff like that. And there's a little... Like, you can... There's an interesting thing I won't get into, but you can, like, stop the game, like, and end it, but not win. Because, like, it depends on what, like, evidence you collect to see if you stop Dr. Lobo's scheme. So, like, there's, like, but definitely, like, the whole game, I would, like, owes a lot to Arabian Nights. I just think, because it's cooperative, I feel like it's a better game experience for me. I feel like it plays a little faster, too.
Yeah.
So, because it's not like, ooh, we all gotta one-up each other to see who wins. Like, you're actively working together. So...
Cool. Yeah, cool. How about you, Garrett? What's your game you're picking?
I brought Above and Below by Red Raven Games, and it is more of a Euro game with a storytelling aspect mixed in. So one of the options you can do, besides building your town normally in the Euro game, is you can go exploring the underground caves below. And the in-game bonus is you get access to these cheaper cave buildings. You also get access to resources that don't grow above ground, which will help you get more victory points at the end, and then you have sort of little vignettes of stories. So I'd say the downside of it is you can do pretty much equally as good, if not maybe even a little better, by spending most of your time above ground and never exploring. So you could skip the story aspect and do just fine.
Oh, but it's so much fun to go down there.
It is
right.
fun.
And that's most of the fun of the game is finding those stories. part of it too is you never know how hard the adventure is going to be, so you'll either be drastically over-prepared or really under-prepared for whatever scenario you have.
So true.
And that can be a little disheartening. They did come out with a promo set called The Groves, which is a set of forest cards, so you know exactly what you need to go adventuring. And those will kind of modify your buildings above ground to kind of balance that out a little bit. But I think the designer, Ryan Lockhart, learned a lot from this game, and Near and Far, which just was delivered from Kickstarter, is sort of a continuation of this. This one's more of a
when did you just get this? Did you get
I
this
got it a couple days ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fresh.
It is, unpunched. This one has a world map, and you have characters that you'll be leveling up, and they have individual stories that will pertain to them as you go through. Versus Above and Below, you know, you might find an empty cavern one time, or you might find some glogos down there and get involved in a confrontation. This is supposed to be a little more of a continuous story and integrate the story a little more into the game. Overall, though, I really like Above and Below as a game. I think it's pretty quick. It plays in about an hour and a half, depending on the number of players. And whoever is waiting for their turn next, so basically the player to have done something the least turn-wise, is going to be reading the adventures out of there. So if it's been a while since it's your turn, you at least get to read a little paragraph, and as soon as you're done with that, your turn is going to begin. And it has that single action mechanic, which is nice. So everyone takes one action at a time, so you're not having to wait for a bunch of people's turns and actions before it gets around to you.
I would say Above and Below, I feel like, is a good marriage of the two things, because like the storytelling games are not for everyone. They're definitely not. And if you want to like, if you like that, but your friends are like, no, that's the worst thing ever, I never want to do that ever, this is a really good compromise.
And I think like from you know the other three we talked about, Arabian Nights and Smersh, this has really strong gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say though, for new people, like if you've got someone who never plays game before, then Agents of Smersh will be easier because it's co-op and there's less mechanics going on.
So Agents of Smersh, whenever I say, like, when I bring it to people who haven't played games, like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot I'm gonna tell you, like, at the beginning, but like it's pretty easy. Like, you pick it up fast.
You could know nothing in Agents of Smersh, and when it comes to your turn, you have like one or two options you're gonna do. It's fairly easy to pick up.
So, but yeah, I like Above and Below. The artwork is really cute, and like the Euro stuff in it. Like, I like Euro games a lot, so I like that part of it as well.
Well, talking about some other games, I mean, some of them that
Our runners-up?
Yeah.
Runners-up.
Well, the ones we haven't picked, I think Sherlock Holmes and plus the sequel with Jack the Ripper, and also kind of like its cousin game, I would say. It's either Cthulhu Mythos or Mythos Tales or something like that. Yeah, very same in the genre. This is really immersive. I just really love this one because you have a book in here, like complete like scenarios in that, and then all you do is you get a map and you get a directory, and then you just find leads, and then you read the leads. It's like you find them there. But the thing is, you are based on the score of how effective you are as a detective of which lead to actually go to. Yeah, in there. Oh yeah, but anyway, like each paragraph is very like precise in the story, in the scenario. So each scenario has one book, and each book is like, and also you also get newspapers, which is really fun too. You don't have to like read the whole newspaper, but it's like you can search there, and
you very much feel like a detective.
Yeah.
So, I think my favorite runner-up, and possibly my favorite game right now, I would say is Time Stories. Whereas, it almost feels like a step forward from those two in the way that, like, the ones these are the, like, choose your own adventure books. Time Stories is basically a board game of a point-and-click adventure that, like, you would have, like, on your PC, like, back in the day. So, that's where that comes from, and, you can, choose what happens a little bit, but it's not like the same correlation.
It's more
as
visually rich too.
Visually rich too. It's a really great game.
I mean, it's not just all the written paragraph, like the imagination, but it's actually the art's actually really strong. It's a really strong part. The art's functional.
The art, you need the art for the game. So, it's just like in a point and click game where you go into a room and like you're like, oh, I see all these things. What's that statue in the corner? Like that statue in that picture is also important too. Like in the game as well.
Yeah, like it might have like a code written on the side of it or something
on the
like
side
that.
and stuff.
All right. I guess another one we can talk about like that does have paragraph is probably Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter. Yeah.
Dead of Winter. primarily it focused on the
crossword cards.
Yeah, crossword cards. Yeah, so that I mean that's kind of cool. Sometimes it doesn't trigger, something does it. I think that's really fascinating that something doesn't because you just have to wait like what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It can be something generic like move here, or it could be very specific. You have this character.
Yeah, like if this character is alive and in the school.
And,
So.
And then it's like kind of like your decision like yes you'll do that, yes you won't do that, and there's consequences for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, to wrap it up, I thought of 3 more runners up too. Mice and Mystics is very much like it's a story with a little RPG that accompanies it. So it's almost like you're playing through a book. It's just all the literature or all the writing is at the beginning and the end of the adventure usually. Betrayal at House on the Hill also kind of has this type of storytelling thing.
Yeah. It does in the books too, but also in the cards actually quite.
Yeah,
quite
the cards
have
that
too.
Yeah, but most people don't consider it a storytelling game. And then lastly, Once Upon a Time is a card-based storytelling game. You also have stuff like Rory's Story Cubes, and it's kind of just a way to create a story on the fly. But I would also put those into this kind of collective storytelling game.
Storytelling with that not like
No,
choose your adventure. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, this is like choose your adventure kind of thing. But it's kind of like almost like kind of meets in the middle with the storytelling aspect there. Those are just more creative ones though. Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys know of any more like storytelling games similar to this, like definitely let me know because these are my favorite type of games.
Yeah, I mean they're great. I mean there's a whole. I mean I think when I first started with just Tales of Arabian Night, there wasn't much there. Now there's like a whole plethora of all these kind of games.
Oh, and I think Arkham Horror the card game might have some of these elements, and then the New Mansions of Madness I think also has some storytelling stuff in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's being incorporated more and more.
Well, there's like stories, and then the I mean book stories.
Yeah. Oh hi.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, you guys. And thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Yeah.
We should do this more often.
You should.
All right, and remember to keep on stacking games. You too. Bye. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos on board and card games. This is the Cardboard Stacker, and remember to keep on stacking games.